Yippee-ki-yay, Cow Guardians. We're onto a personal favourite weapon of mine, the Last Word. Last Word is an infamous weapon from this franchise, there with the big guys like Gjallarhorn and Icebreaker. Its power and its popularity cannot be understated. Why? Let's get into the stats. Last Word has some pretty unassuming stats at a measly 35 range, an unappealing 40 stability, an okay handling at 40, pretty great reload actually at 80, 40 aim assist, 19 airborne effectiveness, and the lowest zoom on a hand cannon at 11, with a tiny magazine size of 8 to boot. What makes this the powerhouse and mainstay PvP that it is today? Your first hint is the 225 RPM. This is weirdly high for a hand cannon, right? Well, the Last Word has some unique tuning under the hood, and it's not intended to be used while aiming down sights anymore, and should be used from firing like the hip like a true gunslinger. A few perks make this possible. Fanfire allows the weapon to fire in full auto, increases hipfire precision damage, and adds a stacking accuracy and reload bonus for landing shots, which caps at 4 stacks. And our other perk, Hipfire Grip, grants many effects. In short, it grants more accuracy, stability, and aim assist while firing from the hip. Now, back to that cheeky 225 RPM. As I said, the Last Word is uniquely tuned, so it breaks the trend of higher RPM equals less damage, and actually deals very similar damage to our 140 RPM hand cannons. Last Word hits for 69 damage for a crit, and hits bodies for 38. If your maths is on the ball, you'll recognise that these numbers are absurd, and you're right, as this works out to be a time to kill of 0.53 seconds with 3 headshots. This is the fastest unboosted kill time for a primary in the game. Right off the rip, no Suro spinning up, no radiant, just raw power, and it's all in this cheeky little cowboy gun. This does have limitations though. This time to kill comes at the cost of range. Last Word can only really fight within around 20 meters. Keep in mind that shotguns generally hold less than half that range, and SMGs occupy this same space. You do have the advantage of keeping an open radar, thanks to your weapon being very hipfire dependent. This gives you the opportunity to create space when you see enemies on your radar, or set yourself up for success with good positioning. This, however, is all just within the context of running Last Word as it is, on its own. Things get a lot nicer when we add our weapon pairing, this sniper rifle. I get that not all players enjoy playing the sniper, but the Last Word helps cover your weaknesses to close range combat. With that lethal time to kill, and I forgot to mention this before, hipfire movement. When aiming down sights, you receive a small movement penalty, and obviously, the Last Word doesn't get this when you're firing from the hip. Honestly, I almost never run Last Word without using a sniper. Just to cover that weakness, I find it very, very satisfying. My sniper of choice is, of course, the Frozen Orbit. My role has moving target and snapshot, but really you should just use whatever your favourite is here. Last Word is a kinetical exotic, so it kind of limits your selection, but I'm very aware that Beloved is craftable, and many players tend to gravitate towards snipers like that. And what's the other one? Adored. Exotics. You know there's one that sticks out, and that is Lucky Pants. Lucky Pants grants an extremely fast draw speed to hand cannons and gives them a massive boost to accuracy for a short time after drawing them, in addition to plus 20 airborne effectiveness for the duration of the buff. This doesn't exactly make or break the weapon, but it does help it lean even harder into the role of being that swap to weapon with all the draw speed. I get into the habit of constantly drawing the weapon and putting it away just to keep the accuracy boost active, since I tend to run Last Word as my currently active weapon and use my sniper rather sparingly. Without Lucky Pants, I would recommend using Handling Boost anyway. Ophidians on Warlock are great, a hand cannon holster dexterity mod, you don't need a holster, on the gloves is good too. Hunter's Solar Aspect, on your mark, grants a handling boost after landing critical kills or using the dodge. Titans, you're shit out of luck. I had a really fun time using one of my favourite weapons for a video. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. And by the way, the sub has been crazy this last month, so it's 85 at the time of recording. I'll save anything cliche and sappy for the future if we make it any further in this quest of mine. Next time we'll be looking into Thorn. See you then.